Hey everyone, this is your host Jean-Dominique Guéret for the Maybe Daily podcast, and I will start this episode first by saying thank you guys. Thanks for watching the last episode, the other record of you from any podcast I recorded, so that was great to see that, so thanks again. Another thing, I have now as many episodes of Maybe Daily than I have of People Drink Words, which is amazing. So thanks again for following, watching, and so let's jump right into it. I will start this episode with a story. I'm sure some of you will be familiar with it anyways. There was a shepherd boy who tended his sheep at the foot of a mountain near a dark forest. It was lonely for him, so he devised a plan to get a little company. He rushed down towards the village, calling out, "Wolf! Wolf!" and the villagers came back to meet him. This pleased the boy so much that a few days after he tried the same trick, and again the villagers came to his help. Shortly after, a wolf actually did come out of the forest. The boy cried out, "Wolf! Wolf!" still louder than before. But this time, the villagers, who had been fooled twice before, thought the boy was again lying, and nobody came to his head. So the wolf made a good meal of the boy's flock. So basically in this story you get that kid who craves attention and doesn't want to be lonely, and makes up something that isn't real, based on a real threat, and ends up paying the price because nobody believes him anymore. His words don't have any meaning anymore. And that seems to be what's been happening over the last few weeks. It started with the murder of George Floyd, which I believe everyone agreed was a terrible thing to happen. But then people started trying to force a bunch of random shit into it, like, oh, pancakes are racist. And pancakes, you might have heard about that Aunt Jemima thing, which I didn't know. I guess that's an American brand, which is a brand of pancake syrup and pancake mix stuff. And you'd see people making videos on Instagram and Twitter and whatever, just pouring it down the drain or down the toilet, saying, "Oh yes, I'm fighting racism by pouring porridge in the bin," which is the most stupid thing I ever seen. You're throwing food away because the food is racist. How? How in the hell can you get there? How can you get such a craving for... I don't know if it's attention, maybe it's just that person is genuinely concerned that the food she's eating is racist. And, I'm having some pancake today, and it is deliciously racist. Wait. How is it racist when you eat it? It feeds you, you're full. It's not going to make you less full because you're black. So, how? Well, the logo's racist. Okay, why is it racist? It's a black woman. Okay. And, well, she looks like a slave. So, you're telling me the picture of a woman depicted as a slave on porridge or on the pancake mix box, or not maple syrup, pancake syrup, whatever you call it, is racist, and you won't eat it because it's racist to see that. That doesn't seem to hold up much. Picture this. Say I'm racist. Let's imagine I'm the biggest racist that ever lived in the history of racism. So, let's take it to a further extent. You're white. You're extremely racist. You walk down a shop. What is the pancake mix you're gonna buy? The one with the black woman dressed as a slave, or the one without a black woman dressed as a slave? And I can bet you any amount, anything in the world, you're racist, you will not pick the one with the black woman's face. You won't pick it. That's it. You're just not gonna pick it. You're like, oh no, I don't want to see those Negroes on that fucking cereal box every time I go have breakfast. So, that's not happening. If anything, that would be a properly anti-racist thing, regardless of what the intent was when the brand was created. You're like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's have some of that. Yeah, I want to see some black people around more. I mean, when you live in Europe or London, you're like, oh, I don't see them that much. But, well, London is different. London is there's a big cultural mix, and same with Paris. So I never really got that feeling of being the only black kid around. Well, apart from school. Yeah, we were a couple in classrooms, but like, no big deal. Didn't feel like. So having some Uncle Ben's, right? So yeah, Uncle Ben's ads on TV were like, oh, black people on TV. So you could not say identify, but like you'd see a family that has a meal, and you have a family. You see a family having a meal, you identify, oh, you have meals, we have meals. And like when I was watching the ads, you didn't see slaves. Like there wasn't slaves, there was just people. You see a family enjoying a nice meal, and like it's very festive and joyful. And now Uncle Ben's as well is being removed for being racist. I'm like, wait a second. How is it racist? Like, just the ads, just watching the ads, you know that regardless of what it could have been in the past. So maybe in the past they started saying, oh yeah, let's get some, oh, did you get it? Uncle Ben is black and there's rice because they were picking rice. Okay, let's say it went from there, which, yeah, stupid. But now, the brands, even if they were racist to begin with, if they were found by people that actually had race ideas, you can see and tell that these are gone. Just watch the ads. And even if you ignore the ad, it's food we're talking about. How is your food gonna be racist? Like, it's beyond me. It's just beyond me. Because that's the thing, like, if everything becomes racist, nothing is. You're killing the meaning of the word itself. And people don't seem to care much about intent of words or the meaning they have. They just twist them to fit whatever they want to say, which isn't right. You should be able to refer to a word and that word mean the same thing based on the context where it's being used. Like saying blacklist or whitelist something. Why would you change that? Yeah, those words probably, they may have had like negative intents. But then, okay, you remove whitelist and blacklist. I've heard that GitHub or some of the fucking woke brands, they want to remove these to use allow list and deny list. I'm like, that doesn't feel like what would fix racism, right? Yeah, allow list, deny list, you should have used it from the beginning, but you use blacklist and whitelist because it was clearer, more obvious. You were getting understood by the people you were talking with. When you say, okay, I'm saying blacklist, oh, you got blacklisted, it doesn't mean you're black and that you're bad because you're black. It means, oh, you're just not allowed to do this, you're not allowed for, I would say, to access these results, right? Like, what about the TV show Blacklist? I know the TV show, I never saw it. I'm guessing it wasn't about barring black people from places, right? And yet, you may have to... Actually, I'm really curious. What if the show gets just buried? Like, oh no, let's rename it to Deny List. Like, okay, why? I mean, why pick denies over blacklist when blacklist is a term that we know and have been using with a certain meaning, which I don't really put like race intents using that word. Like, I don't. I use that word. Everybody uses that word. It's trying to change, to twist language, to do, I don't even know why. It feels wrong. It does feel wrong. Like, master database, slave database, we don't, and that gets stupid. I'm sorry, it just gets to a point where there's only so much you can push that doesn't make any difference. Because the whole thing is, it started with that horrible murder that highlighted the police brutality issue, which may or may not have been related to racism, that may have been personal. We don't know everything yet. But it's true that that whole police brutality thing in the US, like from what I understand, seems to happen more to black people than white people, so then there has to be a hint, at least a hint of racism in there. But there to say, oh, you know what, instead of fixing that issue, we're gonna remove and shuffle some words around and hope you feel better about us not making any real change. And that's dumb. That's dumb because then people You'll have the people that will truly care about fixing the issue, but the one that just want to make some noise and blame everything on other than themselves. And I think I'm starting to mix as well things. I'm going to try to refocus on the whole, oh, we won't fix racism, but we'll give you, okay, you can get whitelist and blacklist. We'll give you that, you bury them, and we keep the rest. Because that's what it feels. That's exactly what it feels. It's not moving. Nothing's moving. And the people that want to push these little things like burying words, or like Peter did actually a few years ago, oh, feed 2 birds with 1 scone. Like, I don't care about feeding 2 birds with 1 scone. Like, the point is of the expression killing 2 birds with 1 stone is that it's something that's hard to do. You don't just throw a stone and eat 2 birds at once. It's an incredible feat, and that's what you want people to understand when you say that. But saying, oh, I'm going to feed 2 birds with 1 scone, like, yeah, that's not hard to do. You take the scone, split it in half, give it enough to give pigeon, like, yeah, you just throw it on the floor, the pigeon's going to come to get it. It's significantly less easy, and you lose the meaning of the expression that people understand, right? And you can't just forbid words you don't like. You can't just do that, because then language communication becomes less clear. You lose meaning. You lose intent, and if nothing means anything, then what are we doing? What are we saying? Like, how do we communicate ideas? How do we have conversations? How do we grow while talking to people, while learning, if the words we use aren't clear enough so that everyone else can understand them? I mean, if we lose language, we're not better than animals, really. And actually, probably even less, because they can communicate with their noises. We don't understand them, but they can communicate clearly what they mean, the way they do. We won't even be able to do that anymore. And that's really not a good thing coming, because we lose meaning of the word that used to mean something by overusing them, saturating their usage, so that dealing with racism goes from protesting after KKK came to your house, burning crosses in front of it, waving their white hoods around, to, oh, I got passed on a promotion. That was racism, for sure. Even though you don't know, maybe you just suck. Maybe you suck. Maybe you weren't that good. Maybe there was somebody better than you. Maybe that's another fucking person of color. I hate that term, actually. Another black person or Chinese person or whatever that got the role. Or maybe another white person. Yeah, that doesn't change shit. If they were good and they can do the job properly, what's up? Like, you can't just blame you not getting it on racism, because next time something actually racist happens to you, people will doubt. People will not listen. They'll think, oh yeah, you called out racism 3 times already, so we're not listening. You're not paying attention to you anymore. We're done giving you attention for no reason. We're done trying to be there, because there's only so much one can take. There's only so much bandwidth you can get with information, because we're already flooded with the news, like constant flow of information coming to us. So if we have to deal with people throwing constant bullshit at us, we just shut down and don't listen to anything, because nothing makes sense at that point. And if nothing makes sense, again, what are we doing? I'm going to stop there. First, because I'm reaching 15 minutes mark, which is unheard of. I don't remember recording an episode that short, but that's great, because that's actually what I was trying to do with the first few ones. So I'm going to leave you there for today. That was Jean Lingere for Maybe Daily. Bye bye.